But the jealousy part, what they talk about in our relationship, there's one writer talks about 7 deadly sins in a relationship. One, of course, is jealousy. Jealousy is a fear of loss. You feel you're going to lose that partner, that they're going to go away, that loved object, whatever that is. So that fear of loss keeps you, it's really ego-based. It's like there's no guarantee that that person's going to be there for you the rest of your life, unfortunately. I am older, so we come from a tradition where our parents were married 50, 60 years. We're not going to see that a lot in our younger folks because they say the average marriage lasts about 10 years, unfortunately. So that means in the course of a lifetime, you can have 5, 6, 7 marriages. I don't know. But, pardon? Elizabeth Taylor. That's right. We're all going to live like Elizabeth Taylor. You know. And it never helps you find your center, because what happens, you get rid of that one relationship you were jealous of, you're into another one, and it happens all over again. So if you're responding, somebody's pushing your button, and you're responding to them or their actions by doing things that are humiliating to you, that are taking you away from your light work, taking you away from your center, throwing your life off balance, then you know that's not the great relationship for you. So that's the first part of 7 deadly sins in a relationship. The second one, of course, is clinging. If you are clinging to somebody, meaning that they have to be with you all the time, and you demand they take you shopping, they walk with you, they do this, they do that, they help you cook, help you clean up. Those are clinging things, and what happens again is fear of loss. You think that, well, if you let them go bowling or you let them go out, you're going to lose them entirely. If you're clinging on that end of it, you're also smothering the person, so that's not going to work. Okay, and what is that doing? That's you're throwing your center off again, because now you're not being yourself either. You don't allow yourself any time for you. So you're clinging so much to the other person, you lose your whole identity. You believe that the only time you're happy or good is when you're with that other person in their presence. So that's too much. Okay, so I think we've all done that at sometimes. Like, no, I'm not going. You can't go bowling. Oh no, I know. We got to take kids for shoes this morning, so you're all coming with me. You're not going. I had one time we were out, and I heard a couple. It was actually a party, and this couple, everybody was dancing, and nobody knew who was coupled up or whatever. It was just one of those, some single, some married. And so somebody went up to this guy and asked him to marry. Immediately, a woman jumped in, and she goes to him, "If I ain't dancing, you ain't dancing. Sit down." And I'm like, oh my God, that's the ultimate. It's like, well, that, if I got to be somebody's caretaker or jailer for the rest of my life, I mean, who needs it? You don't want that. So that's not a healthy thing to have. The third area of jealousy in a relationship is lack of respect, a deadly sin of a relationship, lack of respect and inattentiveness to each other. So if you respect somebody, you hurt when they hurt. You're tuned into them. You respect their feelings. It's like, I know that she's going to be hurt if I didn't finish the dishes like I said I would, so I better get them done before she comes home. Or respect her feelings in that, well, I want to try this new job, so let me have the space to do that, or this new business. So the respect comes in where you at least listen to that person, work it out, talk about it, give them the attention they deserve. And 9 out of 10 times when we fight and we yell and we say, "Look at you, you don't give a darn, I'm sick of your mouth," or blah, 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 blah. That's not what you really want to be saying. You want to be saying, excuse me, I'm sorry. You want to be saying, "Honey, I miss you. I wish you would talk to me. I wish you would give me some attention." That's what you really want to be saying, but that's not what comes out of our mouth. So all of us have been getting hit quite a bit around here. So I was fine. I wasn't coughing a bit over there. Okay. The other thing, it's that 7 deadly sins, is the wrong idea of a relationship. You think the relationship is going to be totally romantic, all peaches and cream. Nothing's ever going to hurt you. I'm sorry. Excuse me. But the truth is, nobody has a perfect relationship. Talk about setting boundaries. Of course, you don't want yourself boundary, eroded, such as being abused or whatever. But you're also not going to get the romantic dinner every night. If you do, I want to know who he is. I want to make sure he has a brother or something. So that's part of it. The other thing is having too high expectations. This is the 5th sin of a relationship is having too high expectations. You think this person is God, he's going to do everything for you. Oh, he can fix the door, he's going to shut off the football game because I want to go watch the girly girl show. No. Those expectations are way too high. Nobody can meet all of our needs. That's where your centeredness comes in. You have to know that. You have to be able to let go. If you're truly confident in who you are, you'll be able to say you let go. Unfortunately, we all learned this a little bit too late, maybe after the first marriage. I've only been married once, but it was a long marriage, I'll tell you. It was a long divorce, too. But it was tough. But I will say that you learn, even myself, I can see where my ego was involved in the arguments that I had at the time. You get caught up in it. The other deadly sin, of course, is losing communication skills. Some people never had them to begin with. So it's like if you lose communication with each other and you stop talking, you're really in trouble. That's what they call the silent killer. You just distantly drift apart. Everybody stops talking. Everybody stops caring what the other person's feeling. So what you want to do in that case, of course, is try to communicate. Maybe you have to get a third party as a mediator in to help you, give you some skills to communicate. But it's also hard to get your partner to always agree to that. And then the last deadly sin, this is number 7. If you're lost in a routine, you're in such a rut, you forget to rejuvenate each other. You need spontaneity. You need the love. In any relationship, you need the balance between intellectual, emotional, spiritual growth. You need all of that. So when I say balance, that doesn't mean they're all equal at all times. There's times maybe the spiritual is, maybe the emotional, maybe the physical is, whatever it is. But eventually it all comes full circle, and you're going to need that missing link. Sorry. So in conclusion, that the idea of any relationship, remember these 7 sins for the relationship. And I'm talking all of these can lead to jealousy, because once you start drifting apart, you start to assume things, well, he's not stable with me, or he's not talking with me, so he must be seeing somebody else. And the truth is, everybody today is under so much pressure. Guys are under pressure trying to meet the manly kind of image of holding down the great job and great provider. Women are under the pressure of working and running the house, still being womanly and sweet. So those are the kind of things that you want to look for. So jealousy in somebody, you look for signals. I think anybody who's been through some negative issues, you already look for it. The minute a guy swears, I'm out of there. If I meet somebody, he's talking rough, or I see him push somebody or put a hand on somebody, I'm gone. Bye-bye. Nice knowing you. And so those are the kind of things that you've got to rationalize. Where's your boundary? You got to set that up and then center yourself and avoid this jealousy trap, because we're all human. We all want to be loved. We all want affection. That's the nature of human beings. That's who we are. Animals do the same. There's animals that have one partner for life. I think penguins, they get one partner and they stay with that partner for life. It's the cutest thing you want to see. Penguin. But we don't. We work on a more complex system. So when we get to this this issue, this is where we want to work on with our jealousy. So getting back to being at peace with yourself. If you have a gorgeous relationship and you're happy and you're fine with it, you're in balance, more power to you. God bless you. Again, who is he? I want the number. But for those of us that are in the rat and rolling of any partner, whatever it is, that we might have our jealousy, look to yourself first before you react to that jealousy. Look to yourself and say, well, have I given light to this person? Have I acknowledged my love for this person enough sufficiently so that they feel to give it back? Look at yourself first, ground yourself, analyze it, and I'm all for the power, as we teach here, manifesting. When you meditate, you communicate with that person at your soul level. It's so true. How many of you have heard stories of a mother who instantly woke up, and at that moment the child was hit by a car or the child was killed? I mean, they know. It's like this, you do communicate on a soul level. So when you really love somebody deeply, communicate, meditate, as we teach you, and meditate towards that person. Send your love to that person. Acknowledge your love and wrap them in love. Because the more you wrap a person in love, the less they can resist it. You can't resist. You help them. Instead of infringing and accusing and fighting, and you save yourself a lot of trouble. So that's the